Welcome my IT friends. This is another video on how to complete a ticket. We're using Jira ticketing system, and this is a very interesting ticket that we're going to solve. In this video, we'll show you how to check for proxy issues and for firewall issues. So stay tuned for that. This is a really good training video for just about anybody who works IT, whether you're a desktop support, help desk, systems administrator, or whatever else. I just want to say thank you for all people that became members of my channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, let's check out our ticket. This is a Jira ticketing system. This ticket says I can't use google.com, and it says in the description I can't use google.com. All other websites work fine. So in this pretend scenario, this is just a made-up person, Mike Moser, and in this case he submitted a ticket about this specific issue, but there are many other reasons why google.com would not work. In this case, we're going to pretend that it's not a case of a bad link or anything like that. It's just simply every other website works, but when he goes to google.com it doesn't work. This is why we're going to concentrate on proxy or possibly firewall issues at local level. All right, first thing first, I'm going to assign ticket to myself, make sure I get credit for my work, and now we're going to continue from here. Here's what's going on. I'm going to contact Mike here and say, hey, is it okay that I take control of your computer? What I usually say is, hello, my name is Irvin. May I take control of your computer? And then I'm going to take control of his computer just so I can troubleshoot. All right, and let's pretend that we already did that. So we're going to pretend that this is his computer. So what happens is he would go to google.com and it wouldn't work like it's normally working here. So it would be an error that might be very specific, but I'm going to say that it's a specific error to the sense that would say something like website blocked by security Google search. So here's an example. It says restricted website blocked, and it gives you different options. This is kind of what I'm kind of thinking about when it comes to this ticket, and everything works except the website is blocked, access is denied. All right, now that we know what kind of issue it is, everything else works fine. We're going to look at local proxy settings. So to get to the local proxy settings, we will go to the search bar. This is the quickest way of getting to it, and just type in internet options. Okay, and this here, this internet option, whatever changes you make when it comes to proxy settings will affect any browser that you're using. In this case, I'm just using Edge just because I don't have anything else installed on here. But if you're using IE, Chrome, Firefox, all of the settings that you change in internet options will affect that. So let's say you change proxy settings, it will affect that for all of those browsers. Okay. However, generally speaking, this internet option, it was designed for IE in mind. And so, for example, it says here homepage Microsoft.com. We can just change that to, let's say, google.com and see. And just to show you that these settings here normally would apply to IE only, but not when it comes to proxy settings. So I don't have IE installed, I don't think, but let's do home. Well, see, it's not affecting Edge at all. Do I have IE installed? IE. Oh, I do. Okay, excellent. I didn't think I did. And here it is. Okay, whatever. Use recommended settings. This is the first time starting IE, so you can tell that I've never initiated or haven't initiated this on this fresh install of Windows, fairly fresh. So what that was asking us, what do you want your homepage to be? And you can see that it went to google.com, and Microsoft wouldn't necessarily want that to begin with. But just to kind of show you that this is what happens here, I'm just going to do it real quick. I'm just going to change it to yahoo.com. Matter of fact, to my own website, cosmicnovo.com. IE. Oh, it didn't like that. Look at that. Oh, look at this. An unknown program wants to change your home page to Look at this. This is very, very interesting. It hasn't been like this before, guys. It would just do it and it would just work. But now, did you see that? That is very, very interesting. Did we lose our internet options? Huh. And look at that. It reverted back to google.com. Alright, HTTPS cosmicnovo.com. Apply. Unknown program. It says it's unknown program, yet it's their own Microsoft program. Look, now it worked fine. Probably because I didn't have HTTP in front of it. That's very, very interesting. Anyways, this is my website if you want to check it out. Okay, now back to internet options. I don't know why I closed it, but here it is. This is where you would check for proxy settings. So what is a proxy? Proxy is basically a server that routes your traffic. So the reason for it is to filter and monitor traffic in a business type of environment. So instead of just going directly to, in this case, cosmicnovo.com, you would go through this proxy server that then will allow you to access cosmicnovo.com, and that's found here under LAN settings. So just to kind of go over it again, if you click Connections tab in Internet Options and go to LAN settings, this is where you would find proxy settings. By default, as you can see, it automatically detects settings. It's set to automatically detect settings, and that's fine. Because you don't have a proxy on your computer. It'll just say, oh, okay, well, there's no proxy, so I'm just going to do it normally. However, if you're using a server, this would be checked here. Use automatic configuration script. This is just one option of doing it. And it would be something like, I don't know, HTTP S, I suppose. And then it could be any website. In this case, we're going to pretend it's cosmicnovo.com. And then we're going to change it to script.cgi-bin. So the reason I set it to CGI bin is basically a folder that has scripts inside of it. So there's a server at this location and it has a folder called CGI-bin. Inside of that folder we'll have scripts that will interact with the web pages, that will basically filter traffic, monitor traffic, this and that. So that's one way which you would typically see in a business environment. And of course, you can use a proxy server that you can manually set, and just by typing in IP address here with the port, and then it's sort of like a VPN, right? A VPN functions the same way. You would just type in the IP address you want to connect to, or a server, and that your traffic will go through that. So this is more kind of a simplified, while this one here has a scripts that run. They are way more complex, and it can do all these things that I've mentioned before: filter traffic, monitor traffic, and this and that. Okay, that's how you check and change settings when it comes to proxy servers. So yeah, typically this will be here. This is not as used as much, but I mean, I guess it depends on the business, but typically nowadays it's this here because it's more flexible. It gives you more options to control the flow of internet traffic. So to kind of make sure that his LAN settings are correct, we would go in here and make sure that this is set up correctly, right? So now we know this looks good. Now we can move on from that. If we still can't use it, and again, we're assuming that the website is actually working for everybody else and it's not an issue for it's not an issue when it comes to being a wrong link. Now we're going to move on to other things that might be causing the problem. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is a firewall. So to get to the firewall that I'm talking about, just go ahead and type in Windows Firewall. And what we're looking for is actually a setting for advanced firewall rules. So we're going to select the first thing that comes up here, which is Windows Defender Firewall and Advanced Security. All right, so we have inbound and outbound rules. This is kind of what you would get and what you would see. In a business environment, this would just all be blank. It would say it's managed by your organization. So all of these things that are in here will be managed by your organization, and chances are you wouldn't see anything. But I just kind of wanted to show you or explain to you how these things work in general. So we got inbound rules, meaning that these are rules for any inbound connection. So let's say you're using a program, for example, and that program it needs to work based off somebody or something sending it some kind of data. So inbound, it's coming, the data is incoming, so it's inbound. So from the outside, somebody is trying to connect to us to either send us or, just to kind of send us some kind of data. It's coming inbound. So all these rules for inbound connections will be in here. Same thing for outbound. If you have a program that's trying to reach out to something from your computer to, get data from that internet location, whatever that may be. It could just be a website. All these rules will be in here. All right. So let's go ahead and create a couple of them. Here's for inbound, just to make it easy to understand. We're going to select inbound rules folder. Then we're going to, over on the right side, we're going to select new rule. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a rule that would block a program, just to kind of make it easy to understand. Of course, you got other options too for port, predefined, and custom. Now, again, to make it easy to understand, we're going to block a program for inbound connection. So we're going to prevent a program from receiving any outside data from anything that's outside, anything that's on the internet. And then we're going to select a program path. Of course, we can select all programs here and it would just create a rule for that. But we're going to specifically say, I don't know, what can we block that we can test? Well, let's block Edge. Let me just see where Edge is located. I actually haven't looked to see where Edge is installed, to be honest, since I don't hardly ever use Edge. Microsoft Edge. Okay, well, here it is. So we're going to get this path where Edge is. We're going to point it to Edge. Let's just trying to see. Here we go. The program path. So we're going to block Edge from any inbound traffic. So we have to specify. All right, go there. And we're going to select the executable. So we're going to tell it this is the executable, the application for Edge. We're blocking Edge from receiving any data from the outside. We're going to click next and we're going to select all the connection, or I should say block all the connection. Here, if you want to allow, you can create the rule, but we're going to block all the connections. We're going to go next, and then you can select where it applies to. Where does the rule apply? Does it apply at the domain level? Does it apply at private level or public level? Are you going with which type of a network environment is your computer connected to? So it could be a work computer, it could be a home computer, or it could be a public computer, meaning on the network itself. So let's say you go to a coffee shop with your laptop, that will be a public. Private is home, domain is work. Okay, so we're going to leave all of this, so that makes that even if it doesn't matter where I go to a business, home, or somewhere public, it's going to apply to all of these every time I connect to that network that's there. So just to kind of reiterate here, let's say you take your laptop to a public place, you connect to that Wi-Fi there, that's public place, public network, I want to make sure you guys understand this. So all of this selected, we're going to block it for all these situational places. So we're going to say blocked edge. That's the name. It's all it's asking is just blocked edge. And we're going to select finish. Now Microsoft Edge is blocked for any inbound. Now we can see what happens here and see if it's working. Some things will not work, but since Edge is still allowed to access the internet, it's going to work fine for the most part, unless you're trying to receive data. For example, something is trying to send you something, so that may not work properly. I'm just trying to see if I can show you an example of. That's okay. If it doesn't work here, we're going to block it, block the outbound as well. Right now, it's just basically reaching out itself. It's not there. There's nothing trying to reach to it, so nothing is allowed to send to it. So it's probably going to work fine. All right. Now we're going to block it on the outbound as well. That's when we're going to see it not working at all. All right, now we have outbound selected. We're going to create a new rule. We're going to do the same thing basically. We're going to select leave it at program. We're going to tell us the path of the program, and then we're going to select Microsoft Edge. We're going to select next. We're going to block, leave it at block connections, and then we're going to go next. Now, block Edge. So it's basically the same thing, except it's just for outbound. All right, now let's see if it works. All right, so let's see what happens. See, now you're starting to see how things are starting to break. You see how some things are not working. These are probably cached or local files that are already downloaded. So this is what you're seeing here. This is a saved local copy, but you can see that new things that are trying to pop in are broken because we blocked the connection. All right, now let's go to google.com now. See what happens. All right. And here it is. This is exactly what I wanted to get to you guys. Get to the point where I show you this, guys. This is what happens. And this is the example that I kind of wanted to point out, that sometimes the issue could be with the firewall. Now, we apply the firewall here ourselves. We made the changes. So if your firewall is managed by a company, then this is something you may have to reach out to whoever has the ability to change firewall rules for google.com for it to allow to work. And this is just a really good, in my opinion, explanation to tell you what's going on. However, in a business environment, you wouldn't have any control over it. What you're seeing here would not be visible to you, but I wanted to make sure that you understand of what's happening and how firewall works on a basic level. All right, now let's go ahead and open this. We're going to click allow. Okay, see, now we've clicked so that it's allowed for the outbound. We're going to do the same thing for inbound. Just going to double click it. We're going to allow, and now we're going to refresh, and there it is. It's working perfectly fine. All right, guys, I hope you find this useful. Where's my Jira help desk? Here it is. I hope you find this useful. I'm going to just go in and close the ticket like you're supposed to every time you work a ticket, and we're going to say add internal note of what we did. Changed firewall rules to allow for google.com to work. I have no idea why this changed to this. That is weird. All I did was type in google.com. Whatever. Anyways, that's bizarre. I'm gonna try this again. google.com. Look at that. How bizarre. I don't understand why it's happening here. Anyways, that's bizarre. I blame the ticketing system. Anyways, I need to close the ticket. Here we go. Waiting, completed, done and done, guys. That's that. Again, thank you all who are supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to make as many videos as I can. I also want to mention again that I appreciate all the people that became members, and it's certainly not required or anything like that, but it's definitely noticeable, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm also trying to utilize any money that I make on this channel towards a better production and more quality videos. I don't know if you've noticed some of my recent videos, like I made one that's called Top 20 Desktop Support Interview Questions and Answers. I actually hired a professional uh, to help me with that. Then I also have a new one coming up, which is going to be Top 20 Network Interview Questions and Answers. And all of those, I make it so that not only just give you answer, but also show you how to do it or give you a better explanation, just so it's a better quality content for you guys. Thanks again, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.